Hey friends, welcome. Mad Painter here because I paint mad stuff on your imagination. So today we will be discussing soul ties and cutting them off. So if you ever found yourself in a position where it's difficult to cut someone off because it feels like you need them or they need you, or you're the only one that sees their potential, or you just love them so much you can't see yourself with anyone else, even though deep down inside you know this person is no good. And I mean, your core is telling you no, but you're still like, I don't see those red flags. Woohoo! So, we're going to talk about soul ties, what they are, how they're used, and how to cut them off and keep them cut off. Now, even though I'm using the word soul ties, there are other words that are being used out there, but hear me out because it's the same concept, and it's hear me out because we need to cut this stuff off. So, soul, I'm going to start off with the definition of soul. Generally defined as the immaterial essence, animating principle, or immortal core of an individual living being. It encompasses a person's consciousness, personality, intellect, and deepest emotions, and is often believed to survive the physical body after death. Now, tie. Ties, we have bonds, connections, or fastening devices. And all this I got from Google, but this is to help with the imagination station, okay? And considering in relationships and connections, social and emotional context ties represent the bonds, affiliations, or special connections you have with people or places. Now let's hold on to this. Let's hold on to this. Soul ties, because I looked this up too, but I still want you to keep them too in mind because I be hearing there's no such thing as soul ties, but we got family ties and all this stuff. So you heard that definition, but let me continue on. Soul ties, an intense emotional and spiritual connection believed to link two people together. Now, on the positive side, it can foster mutual growth. On the unhealthy, broken side, often stemming from toxic relationships or past trauma, can cause lingering emotional dependency, pain, difficulty, and difficulty moving on. Now, in reading that last part, that kind of sounds like an addiction, because this is something that got you hooked on. You're hooked on to it. It's hooked on to you. And so we are gonna look at how they're used. So now it's depending on who you're with, because it depends on the person and how person sees things and how they're operating things, because we have level of people, and even in people listening to this video there are levels to us. Some people aren't as sensitive as others. The more sensitive you are, the easier it is. And I don't even want to say easier it is to like get you, so to speak, but you're able to pick up on things easier. So then you have like the people who are on like this first level. They'll pick up on some things, but they're not as sensitive. And especially in any of these categories, when you're super busy or when you're focused on something, it's even harder to be extra sensitive to these things. But now on a heightened level, we have like manipulators and practitioners. These are people who are they're purposely working to shift the dynamics of these things, make you feel a certain type of way, make you think of them like their will and intentions are purposely, they're focusing their energy towards you and thinking about you. And it's just like, not, that's neither here nor there, because that's a whole nother something else. There's so much you can do with your own energy, friend. Why waste it in controlling someone? Can learn to control up in here. Anywho, we have the deep spiritual people. Now we have those practitioners, and then now the deep spiritual people can be on a negative or a positive side, because you'll have people praying for you and praying on you. PRAY and PREY. So in knowing these things, people, sensitive, spiritually sensitive people are aware of certain things, and you got the whole praying thing early, and yep. And so these are like tied to multiple things. And so when you have someone who's loving you and praying for you in love, this is like prayer and for protection. And I mean, you have people with practitioners who are also doing these things that may or may not be out of love. And it's a totally different covering with these things, friends, because I'm telling you, when you get deeper and deeper into this stuff, and this is why we want to get on this walk, because that's neither here nor there when you get in this love walk, friend, because it's amazing. And so we could get to this place where we're cutting off all this stuff. We could have been practicing these things ourselves and are looking for a place to get out of this. Because you'll find out, you reap what you sow. And it's stuff bigger than you that's coming after you with bigger titles and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we get into this relationship thing. So here is where it comes in, where you can have these soul ties cut off. We can ask for them to be cut off. But there is a working part that is involved with us. And we first have to look at ourselves. So we can cut them off and go on with that. But whether it is before we decide to cut them off or after we cut them off, there is a must that you spend time reflecting and looking at yourself. And this starts with one having the hard talks without pointing at anyone else, regardless of what this emotion is, regardless of what title, whatever it is that you feel like because of somebody else or whatever. Just look at you. Ask yourself, why do you like certain things? Why don't you like certain things? And just go deeper and deeper into that. And even as we go deeper into that, you realize there are certain things that you cannot help, even if you don't like it. And so once we get to a point to seeing what our weakness is, because this is where this truthfulness comes in, that you're being truthful, friend. It's no one there but you, yourself and you. And you don't want to make up excuses to yourself. You don't want to lie to yourself. This is where you're really being 100 with yourself, because this is where the truth really starts. It starts with you. And if you're putting yourself in a position where you're willing to hear the truth, even from yourself, boy, you're preparing yourself on the right journey, friend. You're preparing yourself on the right journey. So this is where we include God in on this, because when you get to the point and recognize what your weaknesses are, and you really can't help yourself, because we look at things where we first feel like we have to discipline ourselves. We have to cut this off and do this. And of course, this is about cutting off those people who need not be in our lives. But it really does start off with what we have to cut off from within us. Because in order for us to fully stand on that cutoff position, is if we cut off that part of us that we know that isn't any good for us. But it starts with us getting to that point and recognizing what that is. So this is where Christ comes in at. If we are truly trusting God, and I'm not talking about the religious part of Christ, this Christianity situation. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Christ himself, studying Christ himself. If here it is, we're trusting God, and this is a part of what God is saying. So where does that trust end? Does it end like, well, I'm not really trusting that because that is this, that, and the other? Well, before you just totally knock it off, ask God and talk about it and seek it out. See what the treasures of Christ are really about. Because, friend, I tell you, I really see, Christ has so many hats, but in looking at him as on a customer service level type of thing, friend, when people get to peopling, you just want to pull your hair out. And even if you're bald, you just want to pull your skin on top of your head, because people can really try you. People can truly try you. So this is a point where Sometimes we could try ourselves, but we want the Lord to try us because he tries us in love and he knows how to talk to us and get to the root of the situation and help us to see, okay, this is what's happening, because he talks to us and walk with us free. And this is a love walk. That's why they call it a love walk, because even though you look like you walking by yourself, he right there with you and he telling you what's going on. And so when we get to this point of we having these issues, we're recognizing there are some things that we like that might not sound all that good, that we may not should be liking. And there are some things that we don't like that maybe we should reconsider and possibly think about liking. And so this is where we're not so much pushing ourselves to the point like, oh, I'm gonna make myself do this. But this is a thing where it's a learning of love walk lesson. And as we get to know Christ, we're giving him these problems because many cultures believe that, God is distant from us because of our sin. And it's kind of in what's happening with here. Because, we be doing some things and we don't think like he thinks. But this is where Christ comes in there, because he walked in the flesh. And the mystery of that, friend, when you start talking to God about that and you ask Christ as far as and how he go about doing these things, that mystery will be unveiled to you. I mean, he says that this is why we want to study his word for ourselves. I mean, of course, man wrote a whole bunch of stuff, but the whole God inspired thing, when you actually experience God for yourself, experience the word of Christ and his presence of peace, even in the midst of chaos, when you experience these things for yourself, friend. And while you're battling through these things, are able to share love and hope and life to someone else, and really share this genuinely, because this is something that Christ put on your heart to give to someone else. And when you experience these things, you'll know what God inspired really is, because you'll know that ain't nothing to you, because you ain't even had the strength to do it within yourself, because you done tried it before and it just ain't work out like that. But when God dip his finger in that thing, it changes the game. Where the heck was I? So when we have these issues, we give our issues to God. We let him know, like, this is what's going on. And this is where now that we're at a point where we've been listening to the truth with ourselves, now we can be truthful and be genuine and wholehearted with the Lord. Like, look, this is what's happening. I don't know what this is or where this came from, but I need your help. And so we're asking him for his help, because he's been there, done that. And even though he didn't do the actual thing, he knows what it feels like. He knows what it feels like to want it. He knows what it feels like after you've gotten whatever it is that you got and you found out it was like nasty. And so this is a thing where we are getting to not just cut all the bad stuff off in our lives, but it's a thing where we're learning him. We're learning the goodness of him so that we can be transformed into that. And all of the stuff will be cut off. So, I mean, it ain't like a thing like how we have to do every year. Like, oh, it's about to be New Year. Let's cut so-and-so off. No, because, sometimes you got to cut folk off all throughout the year. It ain't just at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year. Sometimes it's in the middle of the year. Sometimes it's a quarter through the year. I mean, half of these measurements are going. But, friend, this is where we're getting into this relationship. And things that need to be cut off from us, desires. This is how our desires shift. It's when we get to know the Lord and get to know his desires. And when we experience these different things, it's like it is a knowingness, like, that's what that is. And it cannot be taken from you. It is a loving experience, because whoever that is that's putting that thing down up on you, baby, it may feel good temporarily, but this loving experience in this walk, nothing compares to that. I'm telling you. You got to expect. I'm telling you. And having experienced the flesh and thought that it was the ultimate of the ultimate. And it was just like, wait a minute, God. You mean to tell me I got to let all this go to be with you? Baby, that was nothing to let go. Like once you experience, let me get back to my notes. Once you experience this thing, I mean, yes, that's he thinking like drugs. And it may not just be drugs. When you're addicted to certain things, it could be food, it could be sex, it could be a number of the video gaming. Oh my God, it could be a number of things. When you feel like nothing is gonna fill that void, you lie. Because God has a way. I can't tell you. Because I mean, everybody's plan is different, but he has this whole thing set out. And once we get in this walk and giving our stuff to the Lord and talking to him and giving him thanks and listening to what he has to say, this is how we get to understand and love. So in this understand and love mission, and so to speak, so here we have these questions. We start off with this stuff like, we have these people in our lives that we have these strong feelings for them. We feel like we love them. But we really know deep down inside that we're no good, they're no good for us, or we're no good for them. We really got to be 100 for that. And like, stop sabotaging people's lives because you want them so bad, but you see them on a certain track. Friend, this is where we being real with ourselves. I'm not just doing this as a thing like I'm pointing the finger. I mean, I done been both prey and predator, friend, so I'm just letting you know. Don't be out here trying to sabotage people's life because you want some and ain't thought nothing about them or they future or the us. It's just all about you. No, friend. No. This is why we're learning. This hugs. You smell good, friend. This is why we learning better and learning to do better. So now this person, now sometimes we may get somebody, they may not necessarily be bad for us, but they're also not the best for us. So it's not always because a person is not good doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad people. They just may not be the best for you and the best for where you're going. We also have those ones that we feel like they need us so bad or we need them so bad. We got to switch this dependency around because this is part of the manipulation. Like the minute, oh, you need me? Yank, let me see how bad you need me. Chase after me, chase after me. No, friend, let's use that chase energy to chase after the wisdom of God, because when we have this wisdom of God and learn about Christ, friend, so here we have all these confused thoughts. We have this going on, and I heard my heart feel this way, but I'm thinking like this. When you have that wisdom, that brings everything into alignment, because ain't nobody got time to be all over the place when you on a mission. And especially if somebody is disrupting that focus from that mission, baby, I don't care how good nothing is feeling. They not the one. I mean, unless the Lord is saying they are the one, but this is not the time. So I'm just saying, this is why we want to include him in on everything. Include him in on our purpose. Include him in on our journey. Include him in on our relationships. Because the relationship first starts with him. Even in business, it first starts with him. So when we are seeking out this wisdom, it replaces that confusion. It also breaks up that chatter and brings clarity. So when we're at a place and we're at in a habit of seeking God, in a habit of listening to Christ and walking with him, because this is part of this trust, he talks to us. So we have like this two-part thing, and okay, y'all, I'm just going super fast. When he talks to us, especially when he's telling us to move or not move, we definitely want to pay attention. So as we're doing this daily spending time with him, whether that's in the morning, whenever your quiet time is, baby, take advantage of that quiet time. Read about him, ask questions, invite him in on your studies. as you're studying, it's like you're feeding a plant. The more and more you're putting in there, even this dripping pot situation. You have a pot up under a leaky faucet. Eventually, it's gonna full. But we're looking for, it's gonna fill and be full. But we're looking for God to give us the increase. But you're constantly putting in, and you're reading his word. As you're going about the day and as you're chewing on this word and reflecting on different things, stuff will be open to you and things will be revealed to you. You'll also see different things about people. The other part of it is as we're having this Christ experience and we're walking with God, we'll have this wisdom that's filled in us. But there was a particular situation I was getting ready to ask something about somebody else. Now, this somebody else already got beef with me for whatever reason. I really don't care. But the thing is in keeping the peace, because ain't nobody got time for that, because that ain't no battle I need not be fighting, because that's irrelevant. And so, and here it is. I was getting ready to ask a question, and my spirit was like, nope. And I didn't say anything. And obeying that no, friend. Do you know that person that I was getting ready to ask about was in the other room being super quiet? And right then and there, if it had been an ask, then if an asking would have occurred, it'd have been some stuff that kicked off. It could have possibly some stuff that kicked off that was just totally unnecessary, because whatever that person was thinking totally wasn't what I was thinking. It was just in keeping the peace. And see how the peace still would have been disrupted because I didn't obey. But at the same time, friend, I did obey and paid attention to, see what happens when you obey. Now, we don't always get those, see what happened moments. Because sometimes on the outward side, it's like, oh, we're going to punish you. We're going to punish you. And on the inward side, God is like, well done, my child. We don't care what those others are talking about. We want to hear what the Lord has to say, because the Lord is fam. And the Lord has been there, done that. And the well done, my child. I mean, this is a family situation. It's almost like the mob. We can't be touched unless it's permission given. If it's permission given, it's given for a reason. And he's included in everything. So, and this is why we want to get to a point in being in this relationship thing. It's not just a thing where when we are in trouble, where we calling them up when we need something. Of course, we do want to do that. But it's also a thing in getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like. But ain't no hoping up in this, because he already loved you. See, this is what the sitting down and researching is about, to discover why. All the things that he has done, all the things that he is doing, all the things that he will do. It's like, if you just come on, you willing to believe. Because I mean, do you want to be in a relationship you gotta be forced to be in? I mean, that ain't no fun, bro. That ain't no fun. And that ain't what this is about. This is like, bro, sis. It's an experience out of this world, man. Like, so, Proverbs 21. Now, here I want to give you just a little bit, because I just came up with something that came off the top of my mind. This is part of the book of wisdom. We got all kind of wisdom all up in this book, right? So Proverbs 21. Now I'm going to go with 17, because I blend a little bit of 17 and 18. Whoever loves pleasure becomes poor. Whoever loves wine and olive oil will never be rich. What version is this I'm reading? The NIV. Now the other versions of translations or whatever, they may be worded a little bit different, but just hear me out. Now, if you love and pleasure, all trying to have fun, it costs money to have fun, don't it? Even if you was just doing stuff for free, it's still gonna cost you, because you gotta eat, you gotta do other stuff, and don't have friends that's gonna cost even more. But when it's time to put in that work, ain't a whole bunch of people there, is it? Unless they was getting paid. So, And the whole wine and olive oil part is, comfort, relaxation, feeling good. That goes back to being poor. This 19 part, there's an 18 there. I just skipped over because I want to prove a point with these two. Better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife or husband. So, friend, just in using 17 and 18, having this wisdom, better to be alone if you choose to have pleasure than have pleasure with somebody and you not focused on nothing and they nagging the crap out you. See how that wisdom came? All together, even though they were separate, but it still makes sense. So, friend, we want to take some time out and actually see what it says, because let's just take 19. And ladies, I'm not going on in on us with this, okay? I'm just saying, because I also said husband. But fellas, big booty Judy. I'm not going against the big booty Judy ladies, but I'm just saying, if this is all you looking at, and you was like, yeah, I'm a wife all that there, because she fine. Don't know nothing about how she going to be with the kids. Don't know nothing how she going to be with your money. Don't know nothing how she going to be with you. Your crib, your car, none of that. Your possessions, none of that, because all you see is plateau. Did you just hear what I said as far as 19? It's better to not have that car, them clothes, none of that money that's going to attract her. Especially if she a quarrelsome and nagging woman. Because she will get on your nerves. She will get on your nerves so much you ain't going to see that booty no more. That booty ain't going to mean nothing. That will help you appreciate the itty bitty titty committee and the no booty ladies now, won't it? Yes, it will. So I'm just saying. It ain't all about the looks. Same thing, ladies. It ain't all about the money. And if you, just because I'm a visual person, it ain't all about the looks either. So this is why we want to seek wisdom to bring all that confusion together, because we be all messed up in here when ain't no vision and no clarity and no wisdom up in there and real love. So as we are walking with the Lord, we've done all this filling in, and we get in a place where we're praying with him, because he'll talk to us also. He'll talk to us in a word. He'll talk to us in a right then and there moment. This is part of the relationship. This is part of the transitions. So in this breaking of the soul ties, yeah, you can break them soul ties all day. But once they're broken, they're cut, they're burned, we want to put ourselves in a place to not be looking for new latches and new hooks and new bonds and new 50 shades of gray to rehook ourselves to this person, because that thing is so good. Ain't nothing that good. Ain't nothing that good. Especially if it ain't with the Lord. That's why we want to have love and know what that love is. Because it's a change our desires. Change how we look at things. I mean, it's all right to look at the flowers, but leave that stuff there. Leave it there. I love you guys. God loves you even more. Experience why. Because all this out there ain't nothing but a chicken wine, friend. Ain't nothing but a chicken wine. God got us covered. And you want to experience this relationship with him. Because it's a loving thing. And you want to know what real love is. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.